Hi guys, good morning. Bought myself a new microphone, so hopefully the quality of the sound is a bit better. I can't guarantee that the content's going to be better, but maybe the sound will be. This is a book I picked up on sale. It's a guy called David Remfry, and the book is called Watercolour. I do not know much about him at all. It says here that he's a British artist and has achieved the mastery of watercolor that few have matched. And it says, unusually for the medium, he works on a large scale and often focuses on people, exploring the dance hall and nightclub. Okay, let me see. And it's still sealed. I bought this at Kinokuniya in Shinjuku. They have, I think if you watch some of my videos, you know by now that Kinokuniya have sales, basically in January and also in January, February, and then basically in June or July. And depending on which Kinokuniya it is around Japan, the quality varies quite dramatically. The big one, there's a huge Kinokuniya that has an annual sale, but it's so full of people. So you have to be, I don't know. I used to go in the beginning, but it was just a rush. And I mean, I'm not that old, but as I get older now, I avoid it. Or I go like later in that time. I mean, I don't need to rush to buy books, to be frank. So I don't know anything about David Remfry. I am trying to get back into watercolor. As you can, actually yesterday, I don't know if this is going to be in focus. I pulled out my paintbrush and also pulled out my my box of watercolors, which is here. I made a complete mess. It was a terrible painting. Anyway, that's life. So I thought today maybe I would look at this book, try to get some motivation and have some patience as I try to paint. And immediately I look at the paintings and I think, holy moly, like this guy can really paint. Oh my God. I'm never going to show yesterday's work. It was so bad that I basically just stopped painting. As usual, I'm a little bit worried that our AI masters, our bots, are gonna spot a bit of nakedness. Fingers crossed. First things I notice are the amount of detail. Is the amount of detail, and quite interesting because for the foreground, the background are different shades. And it's almost like he doesn't care that it's not perfect here. Maybe this is a rough sketch, I guess, or maybe it isn't. But you can see here the outline of a face that he had intended to draw. And there's a heart here. I mean, yeah, that's amazing. If you try messing around with watercolor, I think it gives you an understanding about how difficult it is to get these different shades, to get the layering, which I completely suck in. Okay, I can say right now that I'm very happy to have purchased this book. Usually watercolor books are filled with like pictures of landscapes and flowers. I tend to draw people. So I think I'm quite amazed at these scenes. Like, I've never seen a nightclub painted in watercolor. And these faces are kind of amazing. Can't believe that's watercolor. I used a large brush loaded with pigment over a flat surface. I call that painting. Works produced by this means are paintings no less so than fresco, encaustic, oil, and the rest. There he is. Excuse me. Okay, this is more of a traditional landscape, but again, it's a city landscape, which is quite interesting. These murky brown colors, for me, if I'm trying to paint watercolor, I tend to struggle painting these colors because I just lose hope that it's going to look good. Because the browns, as soon as they mix, it just gets very muddy. Oh, he's very talented at angles. Takes a lot of patience to paint like this and skill. Oh, wow. Have you guys seen his work before? This is, as I mentioned, this is a first for me. And to be frank, I'm kind of blown away. I mean, I thought David Hockney was good, but this is a different level. I mean, the way that he captures the angles and the reflection. It doesn't need to be perfect. Wow, it's kind of amazing. Oh, look at that rug. That's another amazing one. It's called Clothing Shop 1983. I would say one of the difficult things about painting, obviously, is a sense of depth. It is a flat sheet of paper, but he's done a great job at creating a sense of depth. You can almost feel like it almost feels like you can walk through the shop here and rub against some of these textures. It's quite amazing. Okay, that's acrylic. I was gonna say, if that's watercolor, I was ready to explode here. Okay, that's acrylic. Yeah, that's. I mean, that's a brilliant painting there. Why haven't I heard of this guy? Have I heard of this guy before? I mean, you may be able to sense some form of excitement from me, and yeah, I'm very thankful to be opening this book, to be frank, because just had a busy week, and I think maybe the pollen season is coming, and when pollen gets into my system, my mood just goes really down. So it's nice to see something beautiful, because it kind of makes you feel better. And there is some guilt associated with buying books, especially when you come home with 10 books. But then when you open one and you discover that it's a great book, then it kind of reminds you why you buy books. And maybe there is some type of psychology there about, maybe something happened in my childhood that maybe I'm filling in a gap or something, perhaps, but I don't want to psychoanalyze myself at this stage of my life. Let me get back to talking about paintings. I'm gonna say that he does really well at painting faces. You can almost see the nervousness in their faces. These paintings are, it says watercolor on paper, 121 centimeters by 77 centimeters. That's pretty big. I mean, I'm 170 centimeters myself, so it's only 50 centimeters shorter than me. This one's 70 centimeters by 102. So these are pretty large scale paintings. Even this one here, this is 31 by 23, which I think is a little bit bigger than A4, or it's about A4 size. It does remind me of this a famous artist within graphic novels. He does some can't remember, was there some Batman books or something? Let me try to find it later. For the life of me, I can't remember. That's a pretty cool one as well. This kind of reminds me of that consultant, is her name Maira Kalman? It's too early in the morning. Is it Maira Kalman, the one who draws watercolors for books like Elements of Style? Okay, I have some homework to do. I need to link you guys up. It does remind me of that lady, although it's much more realistic. Her paintings are a little bit more playful. If you haven't seen her work, let me find a link and I will include it. I think his sense of movement here is amazing. Yeah, and color matching. I mean, okay. And then the difference. I mean, obviously they're not. You know, maybe this is more of a finished work and this is more of a sketch. But I'm gonna say I like these sketches. I'm not gonna say more than that, but pretty close, because one shouldn't take it so seriously. But that's amazing. I need to watch videos about this person. Oh, okay. It's really difficult to paint watercolor in white. I mean, basically you just have to leave the page blank, and then you have to have different shades of like cream color. That's quite challenging. Taking my time on this book. There you go. I think one of the big mistakes I made yesterday when I was painting was worrying so much about filling every single line perfectly. Then you look at the work here and there's just these blotches of blue, and you know, it's kind of amazing. Maybe it shows you need to be a little bit more adventurous in the way you paint. And as I say that, you get a very realistic painting here. One interesting thing that I'm noticing in his paintings are that he leaves things unfinished. Like you would have thought that he would have finished the nails here, but somehow it doesn't matter. It says here, we imagine ourselves in a nightclub among the dancers, but this scene is an invention. Notice how carefully it is composed, with the two central figures framed by minor players. To the left, a woman abandons herself to the music, the vigorous motion of her dress suggested by lively pencil marks. To the right, another grins at her companion, who is almost cropped out of the picture. If this helps us imagine the pattern of dancers continuing, the twin smiles are also contrast with the more ambivalent expressions worn by the central figures. What do they think about as they dance? Their bodies press so tightly together they have become two halves of a single shape. Their eyes averted. Okay, so this is all imagined. He doesn't paint from photos or anything like that. Yeah, he does a great job. And that's also watercolor. Okay. The smoothness of that photo and the roughness of that photo is photo painting. It's quite apparent. Yeah, it's funny because I have done no research of this guy before. I think I may have seen a YouTube video about him years ago, but I'm sure I'm gonna Google him after this, and he's gonna be like the most famous watercolorist of all time, and I'm gonna feel incredibly embarrassed. Well, I've never pretended to know everything. I mean, some of these videos are me just baffling about nothing, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's very, 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 very famous. But anyway, I mean, when I bought the book, as I mentioned, I wasn't that familiar with him. That's a great painting. I mean, even the ear, like, kind of looks like a little bit of a different C, the letter C. He doesn't need to fill in all the blanks. The eye is just a little dash. Even the chin, it's kind of like it's like a charcoal color almost. I guess it works because all the background also is quite dark. That's a great one. Incredibly happy with this book purchase. This is definitely something that I can return to and try to not mimic, but try to practice drawing some of these things. That's Alan Cumming, and I knew that as soon as I saw it. I mean, I'm not a huge Alan Cumming fan or anything, but it's amazing how he captures the likeness. Look at those feet as well. Wow. Okay, we're getting towards the end of the book. What do you think? Please do drop a comment if you're inclined. Have you seen his work before? I guess if you see some of these works in a gallery, they would be quite impressive because they're huge. I mean, this one's 212 centimeters long. That's a great one as well. Let me know what you think about his watercolors. I'm very happy that I purchased it, and it's definitely one of the better books I have related to watercolor or painting in general. These are elevator halls. Wow. Anyway, hopefully the microphone made it a little bit more easy to hear what I'm talking about, and I hope you have a great day ahead. That was David Remfry, watercolor.